Okay. Okay. Let me. So yesterday we talked. We did the introduction into Excel. We talked about how Excel is an electronic document arranged into rows and columns. We are structured data. We have different type of data, structured and unstructured, structured data. Structured data is data that can be grouped into rows and columns. We explored the Excel interface. We talked about the, let me share. We explored we talked about the quick access toolbar. We talked about the ribbon, the different sections of the different groups and different sections of the ribbon. Yeah. Can you guys see my screen? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we talked about the different sections, the quick access toolbar, the ribbon, and the different features the Excel has in store. We talked about the formula bar. This is the formula bar. We talked about cells, the cells. We talked about the cell references. We talked about range, if you can remember, and the range operator, if you can remember. Let us say B3 to H, colon H3. You see the range, how to select cells, how to move cells. You can remember this four letter-headed 4 arrows, 4 different direction arrows to move your files. How to enter your into the cell, how to enter into your cell, how to enter formulas with equals to. We talked about functions and formulas. We talked about how functions are predefined formulas that Excel have already done. So you don't have to rewrite and rethink. All you just have to do is use them. We talked about absolute and relative referencing. I want to get a feedback from you guys about the absolute, because that's the most important to get. The absolute and sharing is post. Okay. Share. We'll go back. So I want to get a feedback from you guys. Do you guys get the idea of absolute and relative referencing and mixed referencing yesterday? Yeah? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
You guys got the idea behind relative referencing. So because where we stopped yesterday was when we're cleaning our text data, we're using the left, right, and search functions. If you guys go into exercise files, or if you guys were following yesterday, you will notice that this is where we stopped. Where is that file? Yeah, this is where we stopped yesterday. Well, yeah, we talked about data cleaning yesterday, how to remove the empty rows. Can you guys still remember?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, how to remove empty rows, how to remove duplicated entries, how to check for spelling errors. Huh? So that was what we did yesterday, checking for spelling errors, how to use text functions, which is proper functions to make your text more consistent. Removing empty rows, removing duplicated columns, and all that. We also did changing date formatting. So let us start from where we stopped yesterday. This is okay. Oh. All right. So everybody can see my screen here.
I think someone is making a request that she generally gets the spelling correction yesterday, the spelling correction aspect.
What the spelling what?
Correction.
Spelling correction. I didn't
the
get
spell
that.
check. Spell check.
Oh, okay,
check.
okay, okay. Yeah. So it's very simple actually. It's just once you have now. Let me go because this is not in the scope of things, but most of the times we'll have loved to. Well, let me do something. You guys should go to the first folder, right? The first folder, introduction. Hmm? Hmm? And let us open this file, Excel project data sets. Are you guys following? Excel, let's open this first folder, Excel project data sets. If you can remember when we were talking yesterday, we said rows, another name for rows are observation, another name for columns are attributes. So one of the skills that you have as a data analyst is first exploring your data. And we talked about exploring data yesterday, didn't we? About using this. Can you guys see this for my Excel project data set file opened? O1.
No, sir.
You can. Oh, okay. Let me see. Okay. Can you guys see it now? Okay, sorry. Can you guys see it now? You guys can see it now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So for the person that asked for the spelling to go through this checking spellings again. So what you want to do is that you want to go to a particular column. You can check it. You can check for just click on the particular column. Though this is a cleaned data set. This is a clean data set, but you can still use that. So you go to review tab, right? And you check for spelling. But you can see it just tells you spell check complete. You are good to go, right? But if there is any error there, if there are inconsistencies there, or if because it's like a dictionary, so if it sees any words that it suspects, it will tell you. Let me go back to the file that we used yesterday. So I think, is this not the file we used yesterday? No, not this. Okay. Data cleaning. Yeah. So let us, okay, this customer demos and sales Friday. Yeah, this is it. So let me just change. Let me revert back and change this particular spelling here. Ooh. Okay. Now, just hold on. I've removed A and 1A from this. That person that asked questions follow along. All you have to do is just click this column. Now, it's all columns, maybe a column that you suspect. Because one of the prerequisites is that you're familiar with the data sets. You come to the column, you go to view, review, and you check, no, not that. You check spelling, no. Yeah, you check spelling. Okay. Oh. Ignorance. Okay. We'll come back to the person that asked that question. Just remind me before the end of the class, right? Let me see. Okay. So these are an example that we can use, but these are our spelling here is complete. But in case you have a spelling error, right? Is that person listening? In case you have a spelling error, but quickly here, so all we can do here is just ignore ones. But if you feel that there is a spelling error and it has brought out what it has as suggestions, you can use change all to change it to the new spelling. So let us move. Have that person gotten it?
Yes, I'm clear. Right. Thank you.
So lab practice 5. So yesterday, this is where we stopped. If you can remember, we're using this left function. Can you guys remember when we this left and search function we wanted to use to extract the first name from this particular column, right? So the left function, as I said yesterday, was the first this thing enter is it's expecting a text. We talked about how functions contain arguments. Now, what this function does is that it chooses the text, then you tell it the amount of characters that you from the left. Yeah, that's why it's called left, from the left that you want to extract from this particular text. But you remember when we did it yesterday, I remember a first example. This first example, we just used the left function alone. Now, the left function, what the left function just did was that we said from this particular text, extract 5 words. But when we filled it down, because one of the beautiful things about Excel is that you don't have to write a function all over again across a particular column. You can just use your fill handle to fill it down. When you fill it down, you see that the particular example or the particular structure of our function was not beneficial for some other names that add more than 5 characters for the first. That's why it's cut out just Thomas, and we wanted Thomas. That is where these search functions come in. Now, what the search function does is that it looks for a particular, you see, it looks for a particular text. Search function. Okay, this is the search function. If you click on it, are you guys following? I think you guys have this on your system. Do you guys have this on your system? From where we
yes, we do.
Yeah, you do, Abby. Who doesn't have it? So let me continue. So what the search function does is that it's saying find a particular text within a particular text. So it's saying find this. One thing about Excel and people that are familiar with programming is this particular this particular quotes. Most times when you're working with strings, you use these quotes. And most times in string, even empty spaces are recorded as string characters, right? So what this search does is that it searches for the empty character, because it knows that, okay, we have an empty character between these two, the first name and the last name. So it searches for the position of this empty character, starting from the first. That's the meaning of this one. Start number, starting from the first. Where is the position of the empty space? Then it returns it. So you can see that it's 6. So if you now using the how this search functionality, when we impute it into the left function, if you can remember, if you are following me, what the left function does now is that for here it returns 6, right? It returns 6. So instead of stopping at so it returns Allen. right? If you let us go down to others. If you see Anthony here for the left function, because of the 5 that we used, it returned only just the first 5 letters and Anto. But now when we put in the search function, when we put in the search function, we see that the search function helped our left function to. So if it counts from Anthony to the last space is 8, so it can extract out what we are looking to extract, the first name. So when we fill everything down to the column, we see that it's able to get the right first name out of, to extract the first name. So sometimes in our processes as a data analyst, you need to extract a particular section of a string, most times of a string character. And when I'm talking about string characters, I'm talking about texts, right? So let me delete this column, because right now we want to talk about the write function. Yeah, I'm recording. So now I want to talk about the write function. Let me delete this these two columns. So now, let me delete this. So the write function, so from the right of a string, it was when we were typing the write function, it says returns the specified number of characters from the end of a text string. So what we want to use the write function to do now is to extract the Perl from Allen Perl. But if you want to do that, let us just use the write function alone to see why we need to use the some other functions to help the write function. Now, if you put write Allen Perl, let us say number of characters. Now, what are the number of characters we want to extract from this? Let us say 4. What did you see that happened? You can see that it didn't extract anything. And what's the reason? Most of the time when you're working with text values, sometimes there are some spaces. If you see, who is that? Okay. There are some spaces. There are some. So if you are following, let me click on this cell, and I put my cursor here. Can you see what happened? Our cursor is immediately after this, after the full stop. But with Perl, when I did this, what happened? You can see that there are spaces. So sometimes that's where the trim function comes in, but we are not going to talk about the trim function today, but we can still use our write function to get what we want to get. But what has happened here is that, let us count 4 spaces back now. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's what happened. So our write function, I told you that sometimes spaces are also treated as texts. So 4, 5. So we have 5 empty spaces before Perl. So we have to use 6 for it to even extract a letter out. So let us try it and see what happens. You'll see that we use 6. We use 6 now. We'll get L. Can you see that we got something? L. Here you see. So in order for us to escape all these issues, that's where the length and the search function comes into play. But let me type everything into the formula right now, and we'll explain how everything works. So you guys should just follow me. So number of characters. So first use the len function. What this len function does is that it's first the length is actually, the full meaning is length. It counts the length of the string, the length of the whole string, right? Of this. Then we now subtract from the search function. Find empty spaces, comma, within same text, comma, and from the first text. So, okay, there's a typo. Okay, here's our typo. Okay. So can you see what we got now? Are you guys following? So with the help of the length function and the length of the search function, we are able to extract out, both of them help the right function to be able to extract out our last name. So if you enter it down, you see that if you go through it, you see that it's successfully extracted all our surnames. That's the beauty of the left and right function. So you guys have to understand what this length is for. Now, let me quickly explain. I think we already know what search is for, right? But let me explain what this length, because of this length, let me, no. So most times when you make a mistake like that in Excel, all you just have to do is just undo. So what you want to do right now? Okay. Let us insert a new tab. So in the tab right now, let us investigate what our len function does. So our len function is 15 for this, right? But if you count the number of letters, you see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it counted the 5 empty spaces, right? So, but that is not really important, because if it's what the work it does with the search function will not really make it important, because what the search function does is that it gives the position of this particular space, which is 6, then it subtracts it from the 12, from the 15, sorry, so it can give us our PEL. So you guys should just try and investigate these things further on your own. Open a new column, type search, so you know what is happening, count the letters. When you go to write, look at what the formula is saying. So you guys should take that one as an assignment, right? Because these functions are functions that that will be coming up frequently when you are using Excel and you are using text values. So that leads us to our next to the next thing that I want to do right now. So let me close this up. So we go to data analysis basis. Now we'll be talking about filtering. I don't know, did everybody get that part before I move on?
Sir, sorry. I did get the part and I practiced it and it worked. But then I want to understand what actually happened, because at first I tried right, the just like the way you did the left. I just exchanged right for left.
Okay.
Right, but it didn't work. It didn't give me anything. And then when I included the len, it actually worked. So I want to understand the rationale between.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Mr. Adekule, the Zoom is saying that our meeting will end in 10 minutes. So, I think what we are going to do is that we are going to start another meeting in the next 10 minutes, right? So, but let me quickly explain. Let me quickly go through what I explained with the right function. So, where are you? Okay, Sorry. Okay, so all right, thank you. So can you say, let me talk about this again. So the write function works with the learn function and the search function. I wish I didn't delete the other columns, but if you remember what the search function does, let me open another column. Let me insert another column so we can know what the remind ourselves what the search function does is equals to. Remember that we have to use is equals to first to enter. So find text within, find empty space within this text. Start number 1. 6, right? 6. So now the write function. The write function searches through a text from the right. It searches through a text from the right and returns a particular amount of characters depending on what you want to. Now, here, what this learn and search have done to this particular argument, you see that that after a comma is the next argument. If you notice, what the write function takes only 2 arguments. That is extra number of characters. Hello, who is speaking? So what this has done right now is saying 15 minus 6 is 9. So instead of the first 5 empty spaces that it first counts, after the 5 now, it will count 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's what it has done. So it can get our so what is 9 for this particular cell now? What this is returning is E2 and 9. So the pattern down through the column. Okay, let us do something. Let us come here first. Come here first. Let us enter it down. So all through this particular column of names, right? The search function got the position of the mid of the empty space at 8 for Anthony, right? 7 for Thomas Owens, and 8 for Anthony. That's where he found the position of this empty space text. Now, let's see what the length function did there. So the length of the string of this particular string, you can see that it's different for most of these names. So once what it does is that it subtracts now. Okay, I think this Anthony is Z because this one doesn't have any white space. Okay, it does. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 17, 18. Now, what you can see that is 18. The number of this thing here is 18. It subtracts 18 from the first 8, and that's what the search function does. The first 8, and the first 8 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Then extract what it's looking for. This is the Whitney. That's why we got our Whitney here. I don't know if the person that asked that question gets it because we have 4 minutes remaining. So let me end this session and re-invite you guys again for another 40 minutes. Mr. Dekunle?
Hello, I'm with you.
Yeah, so I want to end the session. It's already 4 minutes, so I don't want it to.
Okay.
Yeah, let me end the session. Then we'll come back. I'll send you another meeting invite for the next 40 minutes.